So I am Sal Glorioso, and I'm from New Jersey, kind of near Philadelphia.
Awesome, Sal. When did you start 8THWNDR?
I started 8THWNDR about 4 years ago, so in 1 month it's our 4-year anniversary, so it was like August 2017. So this is a funny story. I originally was going to call it 9th Wonder because I thought there were 8 wonders of the world, and I told my friend, I was like, hey, I'm starting this brand called 9th Wonder. He's like, bro, there's only 7 wonders of the world, so I kind of had to flip it, and that's how it became 8th Wonder. Back in like 2016, I really got into like the underground scene of like music, streetwear, things like that. And I was just tired of like shopping at like the mall and things like that. And I wanted to wear stuff that like really had a deeper meaning and like had a community behind it versus just any old clothes. So that's really got me into it. And I was like, hey, I could really make my own thing. And like, cause I've always been into skateboarding and streetwear. So that's kind of just how it happened.
Awesome.
Definitely. I was always like at the skate park as much as I could be, even though there's not really many around us. And like, I saw people wearing like blind skateboards, like old DCs, things like that. Like back in the day, like there were so many really more cool streetwear brands and skate brands that like people were wearing. And like, I was really into all that. Back in the day, I was really rocking with like Dime. I liked Flip. I liked Black Label. There's just so many cool brands that I can't really think of off the top of my head that I used to wear. I just kind of like looked for manufacturers locally for a while, and I settled on like this one local, and I ordered like 40 t-shirts, and it just had the logo on it, and I just kind of sold them locally to people, and like there was not really any first drop kind of thing. It was just a, hey, I have t-shirts kind of thing. It was all me at first because I was kind of just learning how to use like Illustrator and Photoshop, and I just I made a logo in Illustrator, and then I just put that on t-shirt. I started skating when I was like, I want to say like 6 or 7 years old, like really, really young. My parents got me a board for Christmas, and I just immediately fell in love with it. And I would just go to the skate park and see people doing like kick flips, and like back then, like I couldn't comprehend how like a kickflip was done, and I was too young, and I was like, wow, like I don't understand how they can jump on the board and it flips. And so I would just go to the skate park as much as I could, and like I started to get pretty good. And then I just fell in love with the whole skateboarding culture and was all about it. So that's why I kind of make it like part of 8THWNDR. It actually took me like 1.5 years or almost 2 years to do my first skate deck because I couldn't really figure out how to make them. And like, I didn't really take my brand seriously at first. Like it took me like 1.5 years to really do so because I would only have drops like every 3 or 4 months. And then in 2019, I kind of decided to take it more seriously because I really knew I had something that could do something. And I dropped every month. I did $8 t-shirts every month. And then our first skate deck was in May of 2019. Which I think was around the time we interviewed our first interview. So we go way back. Like I didn't really want to take the whole college route and like do 4 years of college. So I was like, I have this brand and people around me are telling me that it has a lot of potential. So I'm gonna really ride on it. And that's when I decided to do $8 t-shirts every month. And I just found a way to like make my schedule so I'm able to drop every month and have a little bit of free time as well. So back in high school, like my freshman, sophomore years, I was really into like Supreme, Palace, like a lot of that stuff. And when you're that age, you don't have a job and it's really hard to find affordable stuff. So like every dollar counts for you. So I'm kind of doing that as my way to give back to like the younger people who are really interested in streetwear but don't have the money to like spend in the world. So you can get a high quality $8 t-shirt every month from us. Yeah, back then, like cheap tees weren't really a thing. I think there was only like 2 or 3 other brands doing cheap tees, and when people like around me heard like, wow, he's doing $8 t-shirts, like they couldn't fathom that. It was like a whole nother concept for them. All right, so this is a funny story. This is actually my best selling $8 t-shirt ever by like a long shot. Like this $8 t-shirt went crazy. And one of my good friends, Austin, who is at Draco on Instagram, he posted this as a pre-made, and like I have his post notifications on, like, so I always get to see his pre-mades before like anyone else. And I saw it immediately. I was like, dude, I want that. We changed a few things around and put it like really on brand. And I like to focus on like the positivity in streetwear. So it was really on brand for me. I'm really hands off with designing. I come up with all the concepts and like I do a lot of curation, but I have like a list. So if I come up with an idea, I pretty much know which designer to go for and like which style, because I have it all visioned out in my head. But I don't really like anything I make personally, even though I do know how to design. Honestly, I really struggle with coming up with ideas a lot of the time, but definitely what helps me out is watching movies, looking through vintage t-shirts, listening to music. But when I have that idea, like often it sparks into multiple ideas, and then I just kind of run with that. And then I talk to designers. Sometimes they have their own incorporation they want to spin, and then like that's just how the design evolves. I just see it as I have no other options, and like this brand is something that means the world to me, and I really have a big message to push to people, and I want everyone in the world to see my clothes. And I think that 8th Wonder will be supreme level within the next 10 or 15 years. Like, give me that time, I promise I'll make it happen. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to go with Sesh Monkey for that one. We actually do a little series every week that we'll probably talk about later in the interview, which is our Sunday comics, and he does all art with our skateball characters, and he's very versatile. He does a lot of cartoon stuff, and I've known him for almost 3 years now, and he's just so easy to work with because our brains think very alike. If I tell him an idea, he always hits the nail head on. A lot of the times it's word of mouth through other designers, because I'll talk to a lot of them. I'm friends with most of the designers, and like they're like, hey, you should check this guy out. He's new and up and coming, and I love to work with new and up and coming artists and help them get their name out there. But other times, if I'm really struggling, I'll just go through like a designer I like, see who they're following, because a lot of times designers follow their cool designers, and that's how I find them. Yeah, so the 8-ball character, everyone knows, he's actually called the skateball because he's like a skateboarding 8-ball. Everyone loves that. So that came about in December of 2019. That was like we're gonna be our first big thing we introduced in 2020. And it was really a huge success because I feel like he's a quote unquote embodiment of myself. And I'm really trying to make the brand kind of stray away from him a little less, because I want to have a brand be more of like the serious side, and then you have like the fun side, which is the skateball, which we do with like comics, we do with like accessories, we do with like videos. We're about to put out a cool garage sale video that we have the skateball animated. We're doing like this huge sale, and like the skateball is like telling people, he's like, hey guys, welcome to the garage sale, and it's like voiced by me, and it's just, he's trying to be our more fun side of the brand, because I feel like doing other things besides clothes is very important. That was all Sesh Monkey, or Ethan. That was all his idea. So he was like, he made a comic for his brand, and I was like, dude, can I do a comic for my brand? He's like, yeah, of course. And then we started doing comics like for every drop post. And then we started this year, we started a series, our Sunday comics, which is at 8th Wonder Comics on Instagram. And every Sunday, and it's also on our website, and every Sunday we post a new comic strip. We've done like so many cool themes, like Great Gatsby, we've done race cars, we've done sports, like if you name it, we've probably done it. And we have so much ideas planned for that one. Like, it's just such a fun series. Yeah, that's actually something we're kind of working on right now. I have an animator in mind that we're gonna do something with, and we wanna do short episodes every week too. That's something I definitely wanna work on, where the skateball gets into his own mischief. And hey, who knows, maybe one day I'll have like a full-length cartoon, because we have some very versatile characters. Honestly, I caught TikTok at like the perfect time, because I listened to Gary Vee, and like as corny as it is, he's like, get on TikTok, get on TikTok. So I was like, you know what? I haven't really been growing much lately. I was like at 14K at the time. And I was like, you know what? I am gonna get on TikTok, like screw it. And it kind of just worked out really well, because I did not see any other brands on there. And like, it was really hard to come up with any kind of business content. Like, no one had ideas of like how to like point at the screen and like show off stuff. And I don't mean to like take this title, but I feel like I was one of the first pioneers of using TikTok to grow your brand. And I actually don't use TikTok anymore. It's really, really dead, I feel like, and it's very oversaturated. But I capitalized on that, worked with a lot of influencers, and really made a name for myself last year. In terms of the brand, COVID was very much a blessing because everyone was getting their stimulus checks, everyone was home, and I actually grew so much in the time because there was nothing else to do. And we went from, in 2020, we started out with 14K and we finished with over 150K. So that was just exponential growth for us, and it was so hard to keep up, and I'm very thankful to have my family. They were home with me and they helped me maintain all the orders we were getting and helped me develop a system to fulfill, and we're just cranking everything out now. I feel like people were really on their phones and people got into like new things. They wanted to look at new things. Like they didn't want to just go browse on Macy's.com or something else. They wanted to find new brands. They wanted to find new TV shows. That's kind of why I feel like anime kind of blew up a little bit last year too. Like people were looking for new things, and then word of mouth happens. It's like you're bored at home. You're telling your friends like, hey, I just bought this cool $8 t-shirt from 8THWNDR. And I feel like TikTok and people were just being on their phones a lot. I have a very small team. I am very, very hands-on. I'm trying to become a little bit more hands-off because I actually am such a workaholic. I find myself working 15 hours a day at least every day. And so being here in LA is such a break for me. I'm just actually enjoying myself. I haven't looked on Instagram much at all, but I have my family helping me out a lot. I have an intern, Mark, who does a lot for me, and I have a very good design team that I can always rely on. Definitely, I want to become a little bit more hands-off because I feel like as we grow, there's more issues that only I can deal with, and I need to have people doing stuff I do on a day-to-day basis for me, like kind of acting as me, because there's some things that people wouldn't be able to do except for me, and I feel like I need to delegate my responsibility to do different things. Oh, definitely. That's definitely my plan to do within the next couple of years. I'd love to have one in Philadelphia. After being out here in LA too, I really want to have one out here, so things take time, but you'll definitely see some. You gotta have a good message, you gotta have a great brand identity. You can't just be putting things on t-shirts. You have to have an identity and really be pushing a message and like making a name for yourself. Like you have to focus on something, not just go left, right, like it's gotta be on brand. Honestly, it's just like we were talking to the artist downstairs, like it depends every day. Like today, I'm like, this is my favorite shirt, but yesterday it could have been like a different t-shirt. It just really varies, and I like everything I make. You should look out for all the homies, including Reno, Diego, Ryan. Diego is such a creative artist. Like he does a lot of cool visual work. Ryan has Crash, Sam has Reno Studios, and also today we're going to the Pythia Crash pop-up in LA. So these kids are doing some great stuff. I love to see it. Just look out for all the homies, man. I really, really want to step out of making clothes because I feel like everyone could do clothes, but Supreme makes like the dumbest shit ever, and I want to do stuff like that. Like they made a stupid crowbar. Like I just want to see how stupid I can get with the accessories we make. So I definitely want to expand more on that. I would love to do a collaboration with Vans, and obviously my favorite streetwear brand is Dime. I'd love to work with them. So those are the two I could name off the top of my head. But in terms of artists, I really want to do something with Reno. I think me and him could make a cool design together because he's been on my podcast. I've known him for a very long time, and I feel like we could do a design greatly together. Within the next couple of years, like streetwear is just going to continue to grow, and I feel like we're kind of in that Renaissance era of like the new brands because everyone's doing such like different things, and like it reminds me of like the 2015, 2016 era, and like things are just feeling good and like everyone's like doing great. So I feel like it's just going to continue to go up from there. You can expect to see us distributed in stores across the country. You can expect a few collaborations next year with a lot of household names, and you can expect to see me out here in LA more. I really want it to be a globally recognized icon. I want everyone to know what 8th Wonder is, kind of like how Supreme, like, because Supreme's still one of my favorite brands, like I'm obviously still wearing it. I want to be on that level where they can just work with anyone they ever want to, and like everyone knows who they are, and that's what I really feel like I can achieve. Like I've learned that you can do anything you put your mind to, so give me the time and I will take it there. Oh, I think you should bring on all the homies I said earlier, which I know you are, but I'm gonna try to think of someone you probably haven't thought of. You should bring on Chris from Lord Knows out of Portland. He's got very good game.